The utility room beneath Millstone Bridge smelled like oil, rust, and something older, something that hadn't seen daylight in years. Ellison's flashlight being cut across concrete walls etched with dates and initials, forgotten marks left by workers long gone. Ortiz stepped carefully, her hand never leaving her holster. Whatever was left here hadn't been meant to be found. In the far corner sat a metal locker, its lock broken cleanly, not rusted out. Inside were three things: a disposable phone wrapped in plastic, a folded rain jacket still damp despite the passing days, and a USB drive taped to the back panel like an afterthought. The jacket was Claire's. Emily had described it at the funeral. The phone powered on long enough to show a single outgoing call made at 1:58 a.m., minutes before the jogger's report then died. The USB drive changed everything. Back at the precinct, Ellison watched as files bloomed across the screen. Emails, scanned contracts, recordings of phone calls. Claire had been right. She had everything. Proof that a redevelopment project near the river sold to the public as a revitalization effort was a laundering operation, funneling money through shell companies tied to Thomas Gray's clients. Zoning approvals fast-tracked. Safety inspections waived. A paper trail designed to look accidental too. And threaded through it all was one name Ellison hadn't expected to see so often: Deputy Commissioner Harold Pike. Pike was the kind of man who shook hands hard and smiled for cameras. He championed transparency. He spoke at Claire's memorial. His emails, though, told a different story: carefully worded nudges, calendar invites marked of sight, a steady pressure to keep things moving. Ortiz exhaled slowly. This goes higher than Gray. Ellison nodded. And someone knows we have it, because before they could log the evidence, the lights flickered. The server room alarm chirped once, then went silent. A text printed in, pale. "We're locked out," he said. "Remote wipe attempt. Whoever it is knows exactly where to hit. They pulled the plug in time." But the message was clear. The clock was ticking, and it wasn't on their side. That night, Ellison drove home with his mirrors watched too closely. A sedan followed him through 3 turns, peeled away only when he slowed near a crowded intersection. He didn't sleep. Neither did Ortiz, who spent the hours cross-checking Claire's files with public records, finding patterns where others saw noise. At dawn, Emily Holloway called. "I found something," she said, voice tight. "Claire left me a key. I thought it was nothing." "It's not nothing." They met at a storage facility 10 miles out, a place Claire had rented under a variation of her name. Inside the unit were boxes labeled with dates, each one a breadcrumb trail of her obsession. Photos of Gray with men who didn't exist on paper, a burner phone roster, and a printed still image from the second video, the hand entering frame annotated in red ink. "Look at the ring Claire had written." Ellison zoomed in. A signet ring, distinctive crest, one smooth at the edges. Ortiz recognized it immediately. Pike wore one just like it. Family heirloom. He never took it off. They barely had time to react. The facility's lights snapped off. A crash echoed from the far aisle. Ortiz drew her weapon, Ellison stepping in front of Emily as footsteps closed in. The darkness moved with purpose. A voice hissed, "You shouldn't be here." A shot cracked the air, ricocheted, shattered glass. Alarms screamed to life as emergency lights bathed the unit in red. The footsteps retreated, tires squealed, and then there was only the echo of their own breathing. No one was hit, but the message landed hard. By afternoon, Gray vanished. His office was emptied with surgical speed. Computers wiped. Assistants gone. His condo showed signs of a hurried exit, closet half-packed, passport missing. A man who knew when to disappear. Pike called a press conference instead. He stood at the podium and spoke about respecting the dead, about not exploiting tragedy. He announced an internal review of the Holloway case, careful to praise Ellison and Ortiz by name. It sounded like support. It felt like a leash. Behind the scenes, pressure mounted. The USB drive's chain of custody was questioned. The anonymous videos were labeled unverified. A memo circulated suggesting the case be reassigned. Ortiz slammed it onto Ellison's desk. "They're trying to bury this again." Ellison stared at Claire's jacket, now sealed in evidence. "Then we dig faster." They went public, but carefully. A judge signed a warrant for Pike's financials. The results were explosive. Offshore accounts, shell donations, payments routed through charities that never existed. Enough to bring him in. The arrest didn't happen. Pike's car was found abandoned at the airport, engine still warm. A note lay on the seat, addressed to no one and everyone. "I didn't do this alone," the city reeled. News vans clustered like vultures. Commentators argued motives and timelines. And in the noise, a third video surfaced, sent to a local station with instructions to air it if anything happened to the sender. It showed the bridge again, this time from inside Claire's car. Her voice shook but held. "If you're seeing this, they tried to scare me," she said. It didn't work. The camera turned. Gray's face filled the frame, smug until the moment Pike stepped into view, ring catching the light. "Turn it off," Pike snapped. The video ended with a scream, not Claire's. Ellison watched the clip on loop, jaw tight. The truth was spilling out, but the danger was escalating. Gray was still out there, Pike was missing, and someone had already proven they'd killed to keep this quiet. As night fell, Otis's phone buzzed with a single text from an unknown number. "You're next." If you think the danger peaked here, don't blink, hit subscribe, like this video, and stay with us, because the final chapter closes the trap, and not everyone makes it out.